Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Development with Tech Dukes podcast. Yet again, it's been a while, but I'm happy to be back with quite a bit of sunburn and semi-successfully de-supporting my recent 3D print, which is a bit of a bummer because, waiting for like 2.5 hours and then basically destroying it yourself because you might be impatient or you might just like to destroy things. I don't fucking know. I might need to superglue certain things together again. Today, I really want to go through some Seth Godin writing, meaning his blog, because it's quite easy to go through. It doesn't take that much, brain cells, especially when you're trying to record or when you are recording at 9 past 12 a.m. I think it is. I never ever know. Anyway, I'm gonna show you. What is it? Or it is nothing. I've been searching for Streamlabs alternatives there because for whatever reason my Streamlabs isn't working that well anymore. So I might be going back to OBS again and or whatever. Raising the bar, which is the first one. That is not the same as raising the average. With the advent of the high jump, the idiom rising the bar became well understood. If you can't jump over the bar that's the current leader cleared, you don't win. But most of the innovations that change our culture don't actually increase the simple linear measurements of the bar. They are more likely to raise the average to increase the performance of accepted mediocre output. McDonald's didn't raise the bar in terms of the best food it was possible to be served in a restaurant, but they made roadside dining faster, cheaper, and definitely also more reliable. So you basically know what you're getting, even though you know you're getting something mediocre. AI doesn't raise the bar for illustration, copywriting, or coding, but it certainly increases the average quality of a high school essay or the cheapest photo retouching or programming services, which per se is a really good thing. And I also do not really understand why people are always so negative towards AI, especially, and I really want to underline that, especially in the space of, I think let's call it fine art, like painting, and definitely therefore also digital painting. I have come across individuals from that space that really, I don't know if they find or think that AI is a threat to their skills because I can just generate some images that look kind of good. I don't know. I mean, human-made stuff is always going to be good and is always going to be worthwhile, and is always going to be, well, maybe not worthwhile, but it's always going to be something special. It's always going to be something that some people that have maybe the resources or like to collect certain things, these people are always going to go for human-made stuff, I would assume. And or there's always going to be a market for human-made stuff, even though some things might be created by machines, whether it is a digital machine or a physical one, or maybe even something in between. Autotune can't compete with Eva Cassidy or Eva Cassidy, I don't know, but it turned millions of singers into slightly more palatable recording artists. Yeah. 2 traps worth avoiding. When something seeks to raise the average, it is tempting to criticize it for failing to raise the bar. It makes the good a little better, but it doesn't do anything great. Sure, that is true, but that is not what it is seeking to do, and in brackets yet. Failing to see that when we raise the average, it can diminish the breadth of demand for the extraordinary. Plenty of very good roadside restaurants were destroyed by fast food joints because suddenly good enough was good enough. The endless cycle of improvement means that every innovation that raises the average creates the conditions for a new sort of excellence. Using these tools, this new standard setter can find a different way forward and create a different way to raise the bar one that seems obvious after the fact. And maybe and I don't know, might be obvious at some point, maybe just now. Realistic paintings, realistic drawings, I always found them to be, well, quite unnecessary. Of course, there's a space for them. Of course, there's a reason for them to exist. Some people like it. Some people, once again, collect it. Some people are doing them themselves. But I believe that why would I do something like completely realistic, maybe even drawing it off of a photo, if I could just use the photo? Period. This is why we have photography, to capture, to frame a certain moment. And like as it is, quite as it is. As I think we believe as it is, I guess, since, we don't see infrared, and we can't hear certain things, and we can't also we can document sound, but in terms of photo we are not able to do so. Maybe we are just not able to do so. Maybe there are some animals that can see sounds. I don't know. Anyway, that's not my point. My point was, I'm actually thinking about like wedding paintings. These are kind of realistic, but they are always picturing things, I think, in the best light possible, in the best way possible. Maybe, like, I don't know. It's never 100% gonna be like just the exact same as a reality, but it is amazing because it's artistic. It has something that a photo can't have. I guess. I don't know. This is just loud thinking. And therefore, which was actually my point, AI might know how to do certain things, how to maybe let's say paint something. So the technique of painting, the craft of painting itself, like the skill of painting might be might not be unnecessary to learn right now, but it might not be like the distinguishing, might not be the thing that that divides groups. One group not being able to do so and the other one being able to do so. Of course, these two groups are always going to exist, but an exceptional painting is, I think, at this point not going to be determined by it being skillfully crafted in terms of the technique that has been used for, so the painting technique per se, but rather how it was presented, maybe even the style, maybe even whatever. Maybe the style isn't too important as well now, even though, of course, those AI images, I think, are just quote-unquote rip-offs of certain styles that are already there. And maybe this also underlines the fact that there should be your own style, maybe, or definitely your own motives, which means your own objects, things in the painting, and certain compositions and well thought out compositions, because I don't really think that AI is really making sure that the composition makes sense and expresses something that needs to be expressed. Well, the next one, remarkable pronouncements. The scientific rule of thumb is simple. When you make a bold claim, you need significant research to back it up, which is a good thing. Telling us that eating vegetables is healthy can be justified by a fairly simple high school science paper. But if you want to claim that the moon is made of celery and Elmer's glue, we're going to need more than your back of the envelope calculations. Lately, we're seeing two things begin to take the place of good research when making outrageous claims. Lots of online celebrity and particularly bold and noxious claims. Being angry or a famous podcaster or both doesn't excuse you from the burden of proof. Yeah, definitely. Which is, well, I don't know. Of course, and I think this is definitely about how you're stating it. Because I can say the exact same thing in just, various different ways. When I say, okay, this is the case, period, and or I think this might be the case, or I doubt it personally, or I think that there might be some truth to this thought or to this concept or to this thing that I'm talking about. I don't know. These are 4, 3, 5, whatever the amount now was, different ways of putting something, and it's kind of the exact same thing, and or it is about the exact same thing. And I think this in general needs to be kept in mind all the time. Also when you're talking to somebody, whomever it might be. I think, whomever it might be. How you state certain things really makes or breaks, maybe yourself. I don't know. Hopefully not. A Big Fat Greek Wedding. Among the top 500 grossing Hollywood movies of all time, this movie is the most profitable in return on investment. I actually thought it was return of investment. And among all Hollywood movies in the top 1,500 at the box office, Paranormal Activity is far and away the highest return, outperforming almost any investment the stock market has ever offered. The return on investment was over 1,000,000%, which is actually insane. The lesson is simple, but ignored by most investors and entrepreneurs. The goal might not be to be the biggest. The goal might be to achieve your goals. Yeah, I don't know. And maybe also seeking the right people. Because I guess when you're directing a movie, when you're writing even a movie, you, I guess, can say for whom this movie might be. And of course, I'm going to market it for those people, and or I'm actually going to make it exactly for those people. Of course, might be a bit of a pity that, there are just like 10 people that might be interested in your movie, and then, the tickets have to be quite expensive. Maybe it could work. Probably it won't. Sending off all the edges. It is easier than ever. Solvents, power tools, market research, AI, committee meetings, meetings, whatever. Online reviews and Inui are all aligned in one direction to fit all the way in. Of course, once you sand off all the edges, it is hard to get traction, hard to find the texture or anything worth talking about. Smooth might not be the goal. Smooth probably isn't the goal. Often actually not. But yeah, with that being said, I'm going to end the episode there. See you soon, I at least hope, and I wish you the best.